Because het weekend
I
in
start,
december. Het weekend
yeah,
in
the
december.
weekend in December, yeah, but I wanted to do it in the recording. Yeah. There's also a live weekend in December. Maybe from the COVID, I will hope maybe you can come, but there's from 17, 18, 19 December, the whole weekend. We have I have organizing a live meeting, so we can see each other in person if you want to. It's in Amsterdam, so you can look at my website. Maybe you join us, that would be nice. Okay, starting my chat. Oh, it's a bit strange now. Suddenly it's strange to do it on Zoom, and I don't know why. This message is something really so simple and so normal that's even strange to talk about it. It's nothing to do with what you can do. It has nothing to do with what somebody can reach. It's already what is happening. So what to say about it? But we are so used to do something, to very convinced that there's some need to know how you can make your life work, how you can do the best thing for you, how to work out what's good for you, how can I live my life, what's the best way. We are so into that all the thoughts are about that, about what did I do yesterday and how can I do it better and things like that. That's such a normal way of being there or living that it's impossible to understand, or maybe it can be understood, but it's impossible to do that, or to hear that this is just it. It's already what's happening. We are so into there's something wrong, and there seems to be a way to make it right, and I have to find it. That to hear that there's nothing wrong, this is it already, it seems like a loss of hope. And that's it. There's no hope. There's no hope. But for me, for the one who's trying to find your way and really convinced that there's something wrong and it has to make it right, no hope is awful. I think also, but that's for my opinion, that hope is more like, oh, there's always something not right yet. So there's the hope. That's how I see it. It's really hallelujah. There's no hope. It's already this. It's already this. And we can't imagine that it's already this, because there are so many things that seems to be not right. There are feelings of pain or despair or sadness or anything. It's not saying that this is it. That means that everything is hallelujah or something like that. It's just this is it. It's very neutral. So there can be pain, there can be sadness, there can be despair, there can be anything. But it's just a feeling. It's just a sensation somewhere. So when there's a sensation, there's always naming it and trying to get rid of it, or feeling now, oh, this is awful, or things like that. It's just a sensation somewhere, an energetic sensation, you could say, without a name. It's just that. That's it. And we are so into, this is me, I'm in my body, and I have a life, and I have to make it work, I'm responsible, things like that. When there's no me, it's suddenly seen also that there's no body. The body is not real. It's apparently real, so it's seen that there's a body, but it's not real. That's very strange. everybody is so convinced. That's just, it's not even convinced. It's just like that, that the body is just real. I am in that body, and maybe there's no me, but how can I feel there's no me, or how can I know that's no me, or things like that. And that you are in that body, that's most of the time it's not questioned at all. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be like that, that you see there, that you can see and really can see that the body isn't real, because that seems to be another search. And that's what me does, always looking for something it doesn't have yet. So maybe there's hearing, oh, the body isn't real. Oh, and then you think, oh, I don't see that. And Rose is seeing that. So there's a difference. There will always be a difference, but that's life. That's every body-mind system is unique. So there will be always a difference, but that's it. It's not better than something else. It's just different. It doesn't matter. So the seeing of it is not necessary. Nothing is necessary. The way it is, the way that body-mind's working, that's it. That doesn't mean it's good or something like that. It's not good or wrong. It's just how it is, and that's it. And it can be pain or stress or all kind of sensations or thinking. That's life thinking, life stressing. It's just life. It's always just life. There's no individual. We assume that that's like that. But it's just life in all kind of forms happening by itself for no reason, with no reason at all. So there's no reason, there's nothing going on, there's no meaning. That's also what humans can do, that they're making meaning of it. So it seems to be, everything seems to have meaning. And then finally you get to, oh, what's the meaning of life? What's the meaning of my life? Oh, I can't find the meaning. I can't find the meaning of my life. Oh, there's no meaning. It just is. It's just happening by itself for no reason. It's just like that. It's very simple. It's very ordinary. It's just like that, no meaning. So there's also no purpose. This meeting doesn't have any purpose at all. It doesn't mean that you can find it while you're listening, or it's important to listen to those words because then maybe there's something will be more clear, or can happen that it's becoming more clear or not. It doesn't matter. It's not, this message is not about getting more clear. It's saying it's already what is happening, that's it. So there's no need to do anything, to understand anything. It's not only in the words, because some people are thinking like, saying like, oh, there's some words that there are not right. Maybe that can be like that, but it's not about being right. This is not the truth, what I'm saying. It's just that what's going out, that's it. And when there's an understanding, there's an understanding, and there's no agenda in this meeting. Nothing is really going on. It's just like that. It's just what's happening. So that can be anything. So we can share. You can share what's going on, or maybe there are questions about what's going on. And maybe there can be, in these meetings, there can be shared, how do you say, less concepts. There can be a lot of concepts, and suddenly there are concepts falling away. It's not the purpose, but that can happen. Sometimes it's getting stronger, or everything is like, ooh, I don't understand. No, everything is getting stronger. Anything can happen, but that's just what's going on. That's it. That's okay. Yeah, not okay, but that's just what's happening. It can't be any different. It shouldn't be any different. There's no better or worse. It's just Rose, or any name what's going on. That's it. That's life. Rosing or life, whatever. So that's the message. When there's no me, there's nothing trying to change anything. That means there's also no escape. There's no escape. And that's what me does. There's trying to escape, like a feeling of stress or pain or bad feelings. It's called like that. Or there are no bad feelings. But it's so convincing that it's trying to get happy and avoiding pain. It seems the most normal way of doing things. That's how a lot of me work. With a lot of me, that works like that. There's no good or bad, no good feelings, bad feelings. They're just feelings in a certain way. Maybe you don't even know what a feeling is, doesn't matter. Can be a mix, can be, you don't know. This is not knowing. This is about not knowing anything. And it's the loss of everything. So it's about loss, these meetings. It's not about reaching that you want to be clearer, or we want to get to something more clear, less pain, or everybody has a different goal in some way. This is about loss. And loss you can't do. Most of the time you don't want it. And sometimes it happens, and then suddenly it's like, oh, I didn't need that. But it's so convincing that you need something, or you need to have knowledge, or you need to have people around you, or anything. There's no need for anything. It's just life. It's already life going. It's already this. So if you want to say something or ask something about this, please do. That would be nice. And we'll see what happens.
Hi, Rose.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So, there's no time.
No.
But I have memories. I have memories. I have a memory of having breakfast this morning, or setting up the computer to watch this show.
This show.
This show. Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So these memories are just that we call them memories, but they're just thoughts happening now. They're not like a snapshot of something that actually happened in the past.
No, and because they're images also, then it's so real. Yeah.
Right. Right.
It's just, it's very obvious. It's just happening in this moment. But it's this, and we are so convinced that that's what's happened earlier. But there's only this. There's nothing before. That's strange. We're so convinced that there's time and something before. Well, no. Yeah, that's strange. Huh?
Right. So it isn't like a proof of anything. It's just simply that I have it's not like a snapshot where I have a photo of something that happened, and it could have been good or bad, or made me happy or not. It's simply what's happening now. It's
But because we are convinced there's time, and everything is real, so it's really did happen, and all that. So their memories are also real, and the truth. maybe most of the time the memories are not the same as what happened, but okay.
So on that point then, they're not the same as what happened. It's like you're saying there's some memories that are more accurate than other memories. Well, that implies
No,
that implies there's something real there that
no,
you could
it's not more accurate. It's just different. No, it's not more accurate.
right. So there's
That's the story. Yeah, that can be in the story, but that's not what I mean. No,
no.
it's
Okay.
just different.
And so no one memory is as good as any other memory. It's not telling
Yeah,
you any more
yeah.
more truthful of something
No,
that
that's
happened.
not. No, it's not about that. No, I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
It's just different than what seems to happen. But it doesn't matter. It's only the memory is only in this. That's it. There's no before. It's
Yeah.
just, but the name memories may be even confusing because it
Yeah.
suggests that there had happened something before. So that's can be confusing in this, you could say.
So
Yeah.
are we not even acting on that memory? If I have a memory of somebody did something bad to me and I see them and then I may avoid them, that's not that's simply what's happening. So if I'm avoiding somebody because I have a memory that they did something bad to me and I don't want it to happen again, it doesn't. It just appears that way, but it's nothing.
And it's the story with that happening. So when there's a happening, you know why it's going like that. That's what people do then. Because of this, that I do that, or I choose to do that, or something. It's just happening.
Okay, so
that's
so this thing about accuracy, whether it's accurate or not, I understand what you said, but how does that apply to, in the normal way of talking about world events, like for instance, Donald Trump says that he won the election. So and then most people, it seems, think that's wrong. He lost the election. So it's like one thing is more true than another. So it's not like going for the absolute truth, but there are you can go towards what's true. But you're saying.
But it's only in the story you can think like that.
Yes,
Then there's something more accurate than something else in the story. You can say, oh, that's more the truth than something. That's just a story. Yeah.
But it seems to matter to go towards something that's more true than something that's less true.
Yeah, that's the story. Yeah, that's me doing that because it wants to get the best thing, or thinks that when that's the best thing that's better for me. So it's always about me doing. It's me feeling good. It's always about me feeling good somewhere.
But it seems
I'm important or things like that. Yeah.
It seems to matter though that just on that thing, I know say Donald Trump. It seems he really did lose the election. He didn't win the election, and even that statement is meaningless. That there's no Donald Trump, there's no world, there's no. It doesn't matter if he's right or there's no. You can't be more right or less right about anything.
No, it's just a story. It's like watching a movie, or it's just a story, and that can be happening. I mean, anything in the story, but it's not important. It's not. This is not about being right or the truth or anything. It's just what's happening, and that there's just this, and I can be seeing something, and maybe there seems to be feelings.
So there's no more right or less right about anything.
No, only in the story. But it's not. That's not. That's just nothing. It's just a story. Can be like, oh, I'm more right because I can prove it or things like that. That's just in the mind, there are a lot of things going on. That seems to be a lot of stories there.
Yeah.
And then there's just instead in the same time there's drinking coffee.
Yeah.
And there's being right. Yeah.
Does that mean that, you know, with science, they try to be more right and make it even more right,
sure.
and disprove something that somebody says is right, and they have ways of proof.
Yeah.
So is that all nonsense? There's no.
No, it's not nonsense, but it's very convincing, because we're all thinking of, most people are thinking everything is real and we have to prove what's going on, or we have to find out what's the best way, or we have to find out how it works so we can feel better. That it's always about feeling better, about what or being important. That's also feeling better. So it's also always about that. So that's the how can you say the how me works. It's always about feeling, always about me proving that this is like that, or I'm right. Because there's such a deep feeling like there's something wrong about yourself, but also about the world, or there's something trying to make it better, or trying to make it right, or things like that.
But
that's such a convincing thing. It's not like that.
But
there's nothing wrong.
It doesn't have to be. I mean, a lot of science is just trying to find out what is true or more true.
Yeah.
It's not necessary to make yourself feel better if one thing you discover. Some scientists say that if somebody proves that something they believed in is actually wrong, they feel happy, because it's an improvement on what went before. But you're saying what went before, what people said was right before, and what comes, and the new truth or the better truth, they're equal. They're nothing. They're just.
But it's just a story, because it's not about. It's always a story about improving, or have a better world, or be feeling better, or things like that. And it can't hear that this is already there's nothing real. It's not real, and it's also about this just it. It's not wrong. It's not perfect, or it's not even need to be more healthy or things like that, because we're so convinced that we are real. I'm existing, and I have the ability to choose and to do things what are right, and I need help for that, maybe a bit science. That's the whole story. There's a free will to make something, to find it out, and knowledge is a really strong thing, help to feel better. But there's just moving the hand. It's much more simple. It's so simple. It's just about, there's just sitting. There's no world. Where's the world? There's no world. There's just walls, a chair. That's it. It's much more simple. Nothing is going on. It's just apparently, but it's also drinking water. That's it. Finish.
But it isn't always personal. It seems that if you just want to find out what's more true, like a scientist thing isn't necessary to make himself feel better. He believes, first of all, he believes there is a world, and he wants to see, what can I find out about what's true about the world, what's false about the world. But you're saying it's just like a game, or it's whatever happens. It doesn't matter if they find something more true or less true. It's just part of the story.
Yeah. But it's always the same story, or it's improving the world, making it better, or about the person, making it better, or health, or it's always about wanting to have one thing to make it more easy, or make your life more easy, or so. And it can't hear that this is just it. It's just already complete.
Okay.
It's already complete. It's perfect. It's just like what it is. Nothing more than that. It doesn't mean it feels good, but it's just complete.
I hear you, but if people are doing something like science for fun, without, just for fun, because they like doing science, you're not saying not to pursue science, or that's fruitless, because there are no facts out in the world, because there's no world.
When people do that, then that's what's happening. You can also drink coffee, or you can science. It's the same. It's nothing more important. But yeah, you can do that. When that's happening, then that's happening. That's just what's happening. That's it. Not more important also. No.
Because there's no, if they're finding something, there's nothing to find. There's no world to find out about.
But that's in the story. You can find something and say to everybody and win a prize, or that's it. And then next morning not next morning, but then there's drinking coffee, and then everything. That's what we normally see when you're skating and you win the World Cup or something like that. And the next moment there's nothing. You stand there and there's just walking, and then there's just maybe a memory for something, but it's already not that. It's a strange thing. We're so convinced that everything is real, and it makes something. It make a change. We'll be changing. We are so. You hear a lot of times about changing the world. We are changing the world. Yeah, right. That's how me thinks. That it has the ability to do that. It's just life. It's just life happening. That's it. We're not important at all.
I sometimes hear people being very gloomy about the state of the world, and the
gloomy. What it means gloomy?
They're very unhappy, or what's the word? Much worse than that. About the world is going the wrong way. There's climate change. There's no hope to make it better. Despair, I suppose, but about something in particular,
But it's always about when there's a feeling of there's something wrong. It's not a feeling that's more stronger than that, because that's so deep. That's separation. That's a feeling of there's something gone wrong. But that's so embodied. So, and then everything is about that. Or in the world, or in anything what's going on. It's about that. And trying to make it right, or feeling better. That's the story. It's always the same story. It's about that.
Or not trying to make it better because it's so terrible, and there's no way to make it better.
Yeah, that can be the same. That's the same thing. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Right.
Er is een
gelezen handje en er is nog een chat.
Oh, okay. Okay, there's a chat. I do the first of the chat. In losing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Dave. In lucid dreaming, there is a person who can direct the dream. Oh, how does this exist if there is no me? Oh, I don't. What is lucid dreaming? I don't know that. I never had that. I don't know. But I think what I could say about it, in normal life, there seems to be a me that can direct what's going on. You think when I'm deciding to do something and it happens, that's me that's creating it or something like that. Is that not the same? I don't know lucid dreaming. So maybe write something about that. Okay, there's also a hand, but I can't see that. So maybe if you want to say, to ask something, please do.
Monica,
please go.
Hi, Rose.
Hi, hello.
I little bit forget my question now because there were talks longer time. But okay, I just moved because my husband is too noisy now. He's cutting grass. So I wanted to ask you, there is no even any truth. For example, I mean, the people say now the sky is blue, and 10 apartment people say the sky is blue, and one of them say the sky is red. So even there is no any truth like this, that no one can say actually that the sky is really blue, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's some generally true in story or not.
But it's just in the story, and there can be some agreements about the color, but it doesn't seem to be really important. There can be there are so many agreements or concepts about what is the truth and what is not the truth. And some people say this is the truth, and then other people say no, it's the opposite. So that's why there's war. For example.
I use this cover because it's so simple, because if there are some another difficult more ideas, usually the people, some of them say this is true, and some other sees the situation completely different. So I was interested if it's the same with very simple things, that, for example, the grass is green, and some people say no, it's not green. If it's possible that even this is not true.
No, because there's some, I don't know, but some people are not seeing green, so maybe there's some, I don't know, but that can be a different, but we cannot agree about something really simple.
Yes.
And then you say, now you see it as green, but what I wanted to say about it, and some people can't explain anything.
Yeah.
So, then there's a story about that.
Yeah.
It can be fun, it can be annoying, I don't know. It's just,
and when you spoke about meaning of life, you mean, for example, when animals collecting some food for winter, for example. So it's just what happened, but the person has a meaning. They do it because they want to survive for winter. It's just this.
We have always, always complain, explaining everything.
Yeah,
because
it's
we
the
want
same.
to understand.
Yes, so it's the same. My husband now is working in the garden, and he told me, because I have to be ready for winter or something. But actually, this meaning is a story.
Yeah, that's the story.
Yeah, there is just happening without any meaning.
Yeah, it's just doing things in the garden. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Thank you, Rose.
Very simple.
Yeah, very simple. Nice to see you again.
Nice to hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Bye. Thank you. Oh, that's the chat. A lucid dream is a type of dream where the dreamer becomes aware that they are dreaming. Ah, okay.
Lucide droom is iemand die weet dat hij aan het dromen is.
Yeah. Oh, my husband's explaining the same. Yeah. But that's what's happening in the same in the story. When there's me, I think it's the same thing, that you are aware of that you're doing it, and then you think it's you doing it or you choosing it. So it's the same story. And there's no me, there's no awareness. It's just, and it's very obvious, it's just happening. There's no me doing it, or because of that thoughts are coming and you're deciding it. It's just thoughts. Thoughts don't have any value, not even a power to help, or it's just thoughts. It's just an energy.
Rose?
Yeah.
Yeah. I live with a body with pain in my body.
With pain.
In my story, it seems that there is a choice. I can take painkiller, and there is no pain, and the doctor said no, those painkillers are not good. I can have a few weeks and I get a bit drunk, and there is no pain. So there is that I can choose. The I can choose whether to have pain or no pain.
Yeah.
There seems to be a choice for me here. And one choice is regarded as better than another choice. And all this.
Yeah.
What to say about this?
That's me is very convinced that there is a choice. And that when there's separation, then there's a huge feeling of loss or something like, or there's something gone wrong. So because people can abstract, there's something going on about, I don't know how that exists, but that there's someone and that there's a choice that people can choose to do something and then it will go better or something like that. It's not always going better because then there's something else happening. But it's very convincing that you have a choice. And that gives a bit of feeling of less despair or feeling of I can make something of my life, or you can feel a bit better about what's going on or hope. But there isn't. There is no choice. It's just life going on like that. There's also no person. It's not life, leaf, how do you call?
Life, yes.
Life. It's just life, living, you could say. It's just life. And there seems to be a body and that's moving and there are sensations and that, but that's just happening. And it's apparent. That's what I know about pain. For me, it's like there's pain, but in the same time, there's not. It's the same, it's there and it's not in the same time. That's really strange. And it can be really strong and sometimes not. It depends. It's there and it can be changing. It's a sensation that can be there. And it's in the story, it seems like, oh, I'm going to the doctor and then there's happening something and I take pills and sometimes pills work, sometimes they don't, or things like that. That's just what's happening. But it's not, it seems like this causes that. There's no cause and effect, but that's so convincing. And if there's no cause and effect, everything is very, very simple. It's just like that. That's the completeness. There's nothing going on about cause or effect or time or free will, choice. It's just what's happening. That's it. It can be pain or something else. Not for life. It's just pain. It's just pain apparent. So there's pain and in the same time, nothing is going on. It's very strange.
That, I mean, I've listened to you before and also thinking about this was the message that's said here. It can sort of give me, the apparent me, a freedom to do whatever it likes because there is still no free will. It's just what's happening, and still. Yes, so for me, it's oh, it doesn't matter at all what you do because that's still what happened, and then that gives me, say, an apparent freedom. Is that also just the mind playing me a trick? That there is, I can choose freedom because nothing matters anyhow.
Yeah, but sometimes there's an understanding about what this is. And it can be but it's more like an understanding. And then when there's understanding, there can be playing around like, oh, nothing matters or something. But it sounds a bit flat because it's not about nothing, saying to yourself, nothing's matter. When I'm saying nothing matters, it's not that I'm saying when there's pain or something like, oh, nothing matters, so it's okay or something. No, when there's pain, it's like, oh, like that. But that's it. It's not saying something to make it more comfortable or something or whatever. Nothing around it. When there's pain or let's say pain, whoa, there can be something like, I don't know, something like that. Or trying to get rid of it and go to the doctor can happen. But it's just happening. It's not a choice or not. I don't know what's going on. That one time it's that and one time it's something else. I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows, of course. But the me can be very, how do you say, very intelligent. So when there's an understanding about this, then it can be, oh, maybe I can do this, something about that. Well, that's, in fact, it's the same story, but more subtle.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Rose.
Hello, Dan.
Hi. You said about no hope in the introduction. It seems since I've heard this message, the hopelessness has just got, really intense. Just just the feeling of it feels like sort of almost death.
Yeah.
It's really intense.
Yeah.
But sometimes when I listen to like you speaking, there is a freedom when I hear you speak. But then in everyday life again, it's this.
Yeah.
It's
It can happen. I know that then there's something loosening or something freeing, something like that. And in other words, it can be very strict. And I had a lot of stress after the meetings with Tony Parsons, for example.
Yeah.
So the body was like, and everything. It was like a fight or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it really does feel like that. Yeah.
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 I know.
Real
Yeah.
restriction.
Like
Yeah.
But it can be like that. It's fighting for its life.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm important. Come on. Something like that. Yeah.
Because it's funny. It's almost like I think sometimes, oh God, before I heard the message like a year ago or something, it wasn't so bad.
Yeah, it's getting worse. Oh my God. Yeah. Can be like that. Yeah, sure. I understand. Yeah, sure.
And I tell some people, and they just obviously they don't understand because most people don't listen to this message.
Yeah.
But
it's just a part. It's just a little thing. It's just not it's not the whole thing is getting worse. It's just that strong feeling like I want that, or how can I that stress? What's going on? But that's the funny thing is the stress is it too. When there's stress and a lot of thoughts and like that, that can happen here. It's just stress. It's just maybe the word stress is already a story. It's just a feeling can be there. Of course, that's life. It's just life.
Yeah.
That's it. So what?
Yeah. Okay. It's almost like before, there was a seeking for sort of pleasure and stuff in things in life, but that seems to have dropped. So that's adding to that kind of hopelessness.
Yeah.
That's which sort of leaves you feeling a bit lost, because before it was like, chasing these things.
Now that's a bit more clear. Now you don't know what you're doing or what chasing more. Yeah.
And it's kind of scary. Yeah. There's a lot of fear that comes up with that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Because there's no goal or nothing clear about what's the meaning or what's going on, or this is about loss. That's what's happening when there's loss. And then I didn't want that. I was very clear about everything in the meetings, and then I could explain, and I was feeling good about that. And then suddenly, some moment, it was just lost, that understanding.
Yeah.
I didn't want that. That felt so lost, and so what's going on? Yeah. And fear came, and I know.
Yeah. But also, though, there can be the opposite. It's almost like there's a swinging of,
sure.
So there is a lot of peace. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And then it can to the other.
And it depends. Some characters are like this, and some other characters are like something else. Sure.
Yeah, it's just like sometimes it's like got to hold on.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, this is already it too, and that's we are so into there must be some feeling of freedom, or we want to have a certain state or something like that. But it's already that. There's a swing of feelings, or then there's okay, and that's life. That's how children look at children. They are like that.
Yeah.
It's just that. That's it already, of course.
Yeah.
So
I thought about that because like there's emotions now as well. You know, if there's crying or something, it's so much more extreme. You know.
Yeah.
Whereas before I couldn't really cry, but now, from hearing this message this year, there's been so much. You know, I'll see something, something beautiful, whatever, or something sad, and just burst into tears. Whereas before, like, stuck. But that's a good or bad, but a good thing in a way because there's a release, you know.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Because I had the same thing, but it doesn't matter. But it's like there's something. I felt also always like there's something around me, like making it very strict, and then suddenly it loses. Like oh my God, I wanted that, but oh my God, what's going on? Something like that. Yeah, that can happen. Sure.
Yeah. And that's lovely when that happens like that, because then there's no seeking in that. Then you know you just, and it's like you almost look back and you think, why? What was all the fuss about?
You can't. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's when something is lost. You can't understand. How did it work like before? Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Oh.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, Rose.
Hi, Anita.
Hi, I slept the most part of the
You fell asleep in my meeting.
Yes. Sorry.
No, sorry. Wow.
This moment, I hate coaches.
You hate coaches. Just a feeling. There's just a feeling somewhere, some moments, and other moments there's something else. Can be a feeling there. Or maybe just thoughts can also be that.
Yeah. Thanks.
Hi, Rose.
Hello.
Hi. See, when you are talking about appearances, okay, so the appearances are all, appearing in the relative world. And, there are some laws, in the relative world, physical laws, psychological laws, because of which we are able to predict what is happening, what is going to happen, and accordingly we behave, right?
Mm.
For instance, the physical universe, there is a law of gravity, and then we know that, you know, a stone thrown up will come down, right?
Mm.
We are going to fall down if there is no
Mm.
balance, etc. Similarly, in the psychological world also, right? There are things like if I have too much of desire, that will cause anger, you know, and if I'm you know, right, and if I'm having an attachment, that will cause fear. You know, these are all the observations. It is almost happening based on laws, right? So, so aren't they useful in the sense that when we talk about appearances, right? Um, um, I mean, going through, and then understanding this, will it not lead to a realization?
Yeah.
What you were talking about, actually.
Now, there can be in the story some things that, like gravity, there's some laws of nature, something like that, and there can be some understanding about behavior and so. But there's no one, so there's no one to choose what's going to happen. So that's basically it. There's no one to choose. You can know everything, but there's no one to choose which way it's going. That's the big thing, that we are so convinced that we have free will and choice, but there's no one. So there's just empty. It's just empty. It's just life happening, and it's like energy. It's an energetic happening.
Like but you know, even if it is an illusion that I am existing, right? So there are things, right? Understanding the gravitation law, I can either prevent myself from getting injured, or I can use it for my benefit, right?
No,
so,
you can't.
So similar.
That's the story. That's the story, that you can do that. You can't. That's the message. This message is about there's no me. There's no one. It's just empty. It's just seemed to be body there, but it's empty. It's an apparent body. It's nothing in it. So there's no choice. No one is choosing. It's just happening. Apparently, also. No?
If the happening, see, if there is no me can be an illusion, but if the appearances are happening or according to some law, there must be something. There must be something behind these appearances, right? No, they are not random appearances.
Yeah, there's some, but it's energetic. So sometimes you understand, sometimes we try to understand everything. Most of it we don't, but we think we do. But some things we understand, yeah. But so what? It's not up to us. So it's just going like that. And when there's no one, then everything is just complete. It's just perfect the way it is. It's just, that doesn't mean it feels right or something, but there's no one, so there's no need to feel right. It's just complete. It's just that. It can be sadness but then there's sadness, so what? There can be feelings, of course, but doesn't feel wrong. Can be feeling like that. Then that's there, and then it changes. But there's no one to feel it. It's just a feeling. When there's someone, then there's just feeling, and on top of it, there seems to be someone claiming it like it's my sadness, and then maybe a little story about it, and then suddenly it becomes very real. Nothing is real. That's also strange, because we're so used that everything is real and we are real. It's so convincing. And you can't say to yourself, oh, I'm not real. That's just words. But sometimes suddenly there can be something like, oh. But that's the loss of everything, because the me and this whole identity about what you're doing, what you have done, and how you act, and how you are in the world, that identity, that's that can be very strong and feeling of safety or maybe something that, and that's lost completely. That can be lost.
So,
But so what? So what? Yeah.
There are certain feelings like guilt, anger,
Yeah.
all these feelings are meant to happen for a particular person, right? See, if I have not done something, and then there is a regret, or if I have done something wrong, there is a guilt. So these are all not like the flower out there. The flower out there is meaningless. It is there. Okay, so
the flower of what? What
the
is
flower. I'm
meaningless?
saying a flower or a tree out
Oh,
there.
the flower. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I can't equate a flower or a tree outside and my guilt and regret as saying it is just happening. So because it is a consequence of what I have done or what I have not done or what has happened to me, or these specific feelings, right?
Yeah, but that's thoughts about that guilt is about thoughts that there's something wrong. You did something wrong, so you feel guilty. A flower doesn't feel that he is doing something wrong. And people are. It's just that abstract mind of people that can think about, look at yourself and think, oh, I've done something wrong. That's just the abstract mind. That's me. That's that awareness. That's part of the me. That's looking at itself and seeing like, oh, there's something done wrong. We have to make it right. That's the whole story of me is about that.
Right. So that is part of the story, is what you are saying.
Yeah. There's nothing gone wrong. There's just that saying.
Okay.
Something saying.
Is the flower or a tree part of the story?
Sorry, there?
Is the flower or a tree?
Yeah.
Is it part of the story too? I mean,
no,
I don't have...
no, they're just tree. But in the story, the tree has a function or has something. We add meaning of it towards it. But the tree is just tree. Like people, like the body is just the body. Thoughts are just thoughts. It's just with nothing more than that. There's just when there's a me, there's always adjusting, doing something with it. When there's no me, it's just it's the same as a tree. Like there's no difference, or an animal. It's just it seems to be happening like that.
Yeah,
but it's
so
apparent.
It's like when I see a tree or a flower, I don't think that it is my tree or my flower. Okay. But when I feel an emotion, I feel it is my emotion, right?
Yeah.
My guilt, my regret, my happiness.
Yeah.
So there seems to be experientially, there seems to be a difference between what is happening out there, so-called out there, and what's happening in me. I do something, I have a consequence within me.
But that's the story of me. When there's separation, then when there's a little child, there's it's just going on. And then when the brain is sophisticated enough to abstract, and then suddenly there's something like, oh, there's somebody coming into the room, and that's separate of me. That's that abstract mind that's only people that can think that. And then the whole me story is starting. And then it's so convincing and so embodied that it's just normal to think everything is about me. It's my feeling, it's my thought, it's my free will, and the story of that. And that can be lost. That whole thing, like that whole abstract, it doesn't mean I can understand abstract thinking, but it's just abstract thinking. It's not real. It's just there, and it has no meaning. It's just lost. That the whole thing, the whole identity, there's no Rose. There's just no Rose. But so what? not important. We are thinking we're important. Everything is about me all day. I was like that. Everybody is like that. It's about me all day, thinking about what can I do? Oh, I feel guilty. Oh, it's always about me the whole day. God, it's a lot of energy. When that falls away, so you want to get rid of that me because you don't want to have that. But it's also me is important. That you don't want to lose that in some way. So that's the longing and also the fear of losing, because then there's nothing left. Nothing. Eh? No rose. No, there's no rose without a me. No. It's worse than that. There's just no rose. There's nothing important about this. Yeah.
So how does it fall? How does it fall away? Is it like see, emotions by definitions are emotions are irrational in the sense that
emotions can be there. It's not. It didn't fall away. That's talking in two worlds. In some way, in the story you say it's falling away. In the same time, I could say it doesn't come up anymore. Those, I don't know. Yeah,
okay.
Like that. Yeah. It's just not there anymore. I don't know why. I don't know. I know a moment, but yeah, that's
but
also
even
a
as an
story.
appearance, what you are saying is even as an appearance, it is not appearing, right? The emotions.
Yeah, it can appear like there can be an emotion, or there can be doing here this with that. It's the same. Yeah, it's different, of course, but it's not. So it's just energy, and there can be images with that. Nothing is important. That's huge. That seems to be, because everything, when there's a me, everything is real. So then you are real. So you'll have to live in that dualistic, because everything is two, like I am here and the world or other person. So that's threatening. You have to survive or do anything to live. It seems to. When that's not there, it's seen like, oh, nothing is really going on. It's just already already complete. So nothing needs to be done. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow I'm on the street because the house is burning. I don't know. Maybe anything can happen. But of course, we already know that. But that's somewhere far away. This is already known somewhere. Also, this is not new. This is somewhere. It's somewhere, and then there can be a recognition, or there can be a resonance. But can also be fear about that, because there's a longing to that freedom, but there's also fear about losing everything, about loss. Most people don't want the loss, of course. But this is about loss. Yeah.
Right. So, both can be operating, right? Like the me doesn't want to lose itself. Whereas intellectually, I can see that there is no meaning in life. There is nothing, So does realization consist in seeing the truth of uselessness of emotions?
No, it's not like that. It's not about seeing, and nothing is useless. No, it just is. It has nothing to do with of use, of useless. It just is. Emotions, or it's just energy. Maybe sometimes I don't know. A lot of times I don't know what kind of emotions there are. It's just something going on, like or something. I don't know, or just nothing. Just normal. There's nothing special about it. There's nothing trying to change. There's nothing trying to change it. That's not
Okay.
that I do that, it's just not coming. It's just not
Right.
working anymore or something. I don't know.
So at least it is about, you may not want to label it as useful, useless, etc. Things are existing, like, a tree is existing, my emotions are existing, etc. So at least
it's not
in the
existing. It's not existing.
Okay.
Nothing exists. It's an appearance. It's just nothing is real. It's just an appearance. And when there's an appearance, there can be emotions like sadness, but it's there, and in the same time, it's not. Cool.
Okay.
You can't understand that. And somewhere, maybe, there's some resonance.
Does
Nothing
such a
is
resonance
real.
Okay, so I think most of your meetings, or let's say Tony Parsons or Jim Newman, you all speak the same common language. You don't see that, you don't say that there is somebody who can realize it's all appearances. But I think you all seem to agree that there is some resonance that can happen.
Yeah.
Right? You are seeing, it is not even seeing. It is not even seeing.
No.
I mean, you can't help me see something.
Yeah.
But these kind of meetings can create a resonance. That's what you are saying.
Create a resonance.
Resonance. You are saying a resonance.
Create. I don't know the word create, but there can be a resonance. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Rose.
Okay. Thank you. So this is it. It's already this. It's already this. Nothing to do. No homework. Nothing to need to think about. It's just happening by itself. So it's very easy. Life is just easy. It's just like that. And we don't know what is going on, what's going on to be there. We don't know. So what? It's just everything. It can be anything. It's everything, is it? So there can be fear, feelings of fear, can be drinking coffee, can be a story that seems to be very strong in thoughts. Then that's going on. That's life, making up stories. So what? Nothing is important. Nothing is more important than anything else. When there seems to be a story, it doesn't need to vanish. Then there are stories. It can be there. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. In that sense, it's not that you say to yourself, nothing matters. But when that's going on, when the thoughts are there and saying nothing, that's life. In thoughting, nothing matters. So what? It's already this. It's already this. It's life. It's moving the hand. Everything is just unconditional love. It's unconditional because there's nothing trying to change it. It's just there without any planning or meaning or purpose. It's just that. Unconditional. That's it. The body is that. Everything is it. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with anything. That's huge. That's amazing. Like, that's the longing. Nothing is wrong. Wow. Of course there's nothing wrong. Life can't be wrong. It's just it. It's just that energy. It's an energetic movement, you could say, maybe not movement. It's just energetic. And everything is just appearing like things or bodies. And that's it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose.
Nee, tot ziens. Hey, tot ziens. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Rose, so much.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank you.